everyone. Welcome to the Geeky Ones, episode number 120. And I'm your host, Jude. And next to me are my guests, Neil and Tim. So, Neil, say hi.
Hi! Last time you saw me, it was episode 100. So, 20
Yeah,
episodes in, I'm back.
yeah,
There we
okay.
go.
And Tim, say hi to everyone here.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to me. I haven't. I think the last time we did this, I can't
Yeah,
remember episode.
Christmas. Around
Good.
Christmas, we were doing a game of the year thing as well, like last
yeah.
year.
It was the game of the year as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Last year,
it's a redo.
yes.
So yeah, so our
Mhm.
topic for this episode is best games of 2022. And I think every year we've changed up the metric, changed up the category, how we do this. So, I think this year is a bit more snappier, even though there's like a lot more really good games. There's more better games this year than
Mm-hmm.
last year. Last year was like a weird off season in a way. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the big games for 2021 have been moved to this year. So
Yes.
it's pretty sad. It was sad last year that some
Mm-hmm.
of the big games got moved. Like I wanted to play Ragnarok last year,
Yeah.
as early as last year, and the fact that it wasn't available, they had to move it for like an entire calendar year. It was just sad. But yeah,
Mhm.
we actually have six categories here. So we're gonna talk about first the most played game of the year, which is game that you have spent the most hours on. It doesn't. I think it it's okay if it's not a new game.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
the thing there. Just the total the total
Yeah.
amount of time invested is fine
Yes.
there.
It's,
Crazy.
it's basically our best
Okay.
continuing supported game. That sort
Yeah,
of thing,
it's
you
a
know?
yeah, it's our best ongoing game. Although, yeah, well,
Yeah, going.
yeah. And next category would be new game that you haven't tried. So there's so many games in 2022, and we were bound to miss a couple of them. And there's some stuff you wish you can play
Mhm.
by the end of the year. Christmas is around, so Christmas sale stuff and go. But yeah, that's
Or
for
it's
new
not on
games.
your
Haven't
platform of choice. For example, if you have an Xbox but
Yeah,
it's on PS5, or it's on PS5 and you don't have an Xbox or a
yeah,
Steam
that's
Deck
the
or a
pain right
Exactly.
there.
yeah.
Next up is favorite new multiplayer game. So this can be, yeah, a new multiplayer title that has released this year. So
Mhm.
there's a
Yeah.
couple of them. It's pretty cool. Next up is favorite single player. So best
Yeah.
single player games.
Hmm.
Most anticipated games are excited for next year, and that's the lead up to our game of the year. So game of the year is, well, just one game. I
Mhm.
remember the past few game of the year episodes for the Kiki ones. We've done like a list of
Mhm.
games of the year, and I think this is the smallest one this year. This is three,
Mhm.
and it's fine, I guess, because it's fine because it's a more efficient list.
Yeah.
The
And if
last few
you
lists are so big.
yes, that's true. And unlike last year, which was it was kind of funky because it gave all these smaller, weird niche titles a chance to breathe, and that was a great way to play games. Like it takes two absolutely deserved game of the year last year, but for this year there are so many different games that if you had to spend something for this Christmas for you and your loved ones to play and sit down over the holidays, this is what we would recommend to you. So free games you could
Exactly.
go buy from buy game stores.
Also, I have to add that inflation doesn't make it cheap. So you gotta
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Games feel like, I think anything geek related is
Mhm.
just way more
Has gone up.
expensive right
Yeah.
now. Like I've
gonna.
been I've been looking at trading cards recently for
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, and
Yeah.
damn, the prices are there are some cards that are really cheap because they're printed heavily, and
Mm.
they're just out there, and you can buy them on any store available, any store possible. But some of the high rarity ones, let's just say that their value has is gold in
It's
turn.
gold. And
You
I would say we can blame, at least for the video game industry, we can blame Sony for that one. For raising the prices to $70 as it is.
well,
So
yeah, new generation games are just at the
yeah,
pricey stage right now,
to
and
be
yeah, the
saying,
I
we
worldwide
can
inflation
we
doesn't
can
help.
thank Sony for that.
But yeah, I,
Yeah.
but there apart from that, we can, thank God there's a ton of sales, and every now and then a game would be free in a certain service,
yeah,
Service
and
services.
we got
we're forever
premium,
happy.
yes, plus essential stuff, but
Yeah,
it's not
or or
us.
or, or, or
Neil would
I
put
will
that box.
I will always say, like Tim would say, point at me and say Game Pass would be suddenly
They,
the value of Game Pass is even
we
more
did that
now.
year. We did that last year, and now they kind of caught
Yeah,
up, but not
yeah,
really.
yeah, ish. We'll
yeah.
get there.
It's
Okay.
the new services will get there eventually, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now I guess we can start with the most played game of the year. So once
Mhm.
again, this is for games that we have spent the most hours on, and I think to start, I'll start this one. And as you can see in my background, my most played game of the year is actually 2022 release, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Mm,
If you see my Steam, I've spent 1,050 or 1,060 hours and counting on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and uh, it's a game that I started playing like just to learn Yu-Gi-Oh, just a way to learn the game, and then it eventually
Mm-hmm.
got me to like actually doing online tournaments for it, joining online tournaments for it. So you know, just to check if I'm actually okay at playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And I realized that it's fine, and it's also like my gateway to learning trading card games in general.
mhm,
So right now, because of the game, I'm investing in a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and hopefully that will help me learn how to play other card games, and invest in more. And yeah, God, one day I'll have a nice pack of Highlander for
mhm,
for Magic soon. But yeah,
mhm,
1,000 hours on Master Duel. That's apart from the rank grind. I test a lot of decks in my free time. So
mhm,
much of my time is less on the rank, because rank games are pretty quick, because you need like a 4 game win streak, a 5 game win streak, depending on your rank. But
mhm,
the hours I spent, most of those 1,000 hours were testing, just testing and practicing everything. But yeah, I enjoyed the game so much. So yeah, that's my 1,000 hour game, and I think it's also like my fourth consecutive year of
mhm,
having like a game that I played for more than 1,000 hours. So
mhm,
for the past 2 years, that was Apex. I think 2020 was interesting because I had Apex and Genshin Impact on
mhm,
1K hour intervals, and for various reasons.
mhm,
But yeah, I enjoyed Master Duel is that game. I wonder
mhm.
what's my next game that will be my yearly time sink. So I'm both excited and worried for my well being.
And money and your wallet.
Oh, thankfully I didn't really have to spend like anything on Master Duel, but I did it did make me spend on actual cards. So that's
Cards.
kind of
Which is
crazy.
worse? Which is worse?
Oh man, yeah. Oh man, some of the cards are just crazy expensive. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is my most played game of the year, and I guess we can go to Tim. So Tim, what is one game that you spent the most time on?
Oh my! What does it have to be a 2022 game? Old?
Or
Anything,
anything, yeah, just
as
one
long as you
game that.
played it the most this
Well,
year.
I mean, immediately what comes to mind, the current game I'm playing right now is God of War. In terms of consistently playing, and I put so much hours into it, and I guess it's almost about to end. Come text here, and I'm sure the PlayStation kind of leaked the release date, Street Fighter 6. I play
Mm-hmm.
5 when as much as I
Oh,
can before
Mm-hmm.
we grind to 6, and there's a closed beta for
Yep.
well, Neil, you played closed beta, did you?
I haven't. I hope to get into the second closed beta, so that's a hope.
Exactly. I was out of the country, so I could not play the first closed beta. So I'm gonna try to go. But yeah, if I had to choose a game that I play consistently just to get, I like polishing fighting
Mhm.
game, my fighting game mechanic.
Street Fighter.
Mhm.
That's actually
Yeah,
really
the
cool.
God of War. Currently, I'm obsessed with it. It's been stacking hours. I'm doing side like Neil. We're trying to get achievements, trophies, just to finish it.
Yeah. Well, the first God of War was also like a huge time sink. Honestly, like I
Mhm.
enjoyed spending a lot of time in the first one, but yeah, I would understand God of War. I would also understand Street Fighter. Yeah, you have to get ready for the new format,
Yeah,
and
Mm.
the whole
what
thing.
better way
So
to get familiar with the new mechanics by just grinding out the last game. So it's actually really cool. And I
I had to
guess
It's
grind.
like
good, but
I had to grind out so much that I got it on Steam Deck as well, so I could just keep
there
grinding. Oh.
you shove there.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if anybody wants to get a Steam Deck now, you can get it. It's
it's
available for
easy,
quite some time.
easier than a PS5. Yeah.
God,
Easier than the
the
PS5. I just
PS5.
for some reason pre-orders are still kicking in for the
Mhm.
PS5. Well, next year if they announce a new uh, slim model or a new more available, I don't know. We'll
Oh
see.
man, a slim model would be just a chef's kiss. I know that
Yeah.
will heat up like a pan in a fryer, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna enjoy that. But yeah, yeah, that's Tim's most played game. So Street Fighter and God of War Ragnarok. So it's
Oh,
actually cool.
how about Neil?
Oh yeah, Neil, what's your most played game of the year?
Most played game of the year is something that I've is something that I've actually invested money in because skins are a thing, and battle passes are a thing. Because the game that I've been playing the most this year is Wild Rift. Uh, uh,
Oh,
uh, League of
wow.
Legends Wild Rift in mobile. It's a because I've been playing ranked for the most part, and it's been so basically I don't spend much on it aside from the odd skins every now and then and the battle
Right.
pass themselves. But basically everything I pretty much earn as I rank up along the way, and it's been absolutely fantastic to play Wild Rift. I don't know because I never got into League of Legends when it first came out, and when it was an absolute thing, it still is. I never really got to it on desktop. So when it first launched on mobile, I immediately sunk my teeth into it and haven't let it go ever since. And I've been keeping up on it for the most part of the year, especially during the early and mid points of the year where the where there were so many spikes in COVID and what have you, and I had a lot of breaks in between classes, so I was like, let's get in a quick match here, and it's mobile, so you can play it on the go. But I'd like to give another shout to a second game that I played a lot this year because it's been getting a lot of support. I'm not going to mention it as much, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Much has to be said about how much the devs have given it so much support 2 years after the fact that's been released. So that's been fantastic and great. And but yeah, Wild Rift is the one that I've been playing for the most part for the year because MOBAs are
That's
great.
actually
And
cool.
Echo is fun. I finally learned how to play jungler because of Echo. I learned how to
I
play jungler with Echo, but I'm mostly a range person, so I'm usually Ash, Caitlyn. Those yeah, range.
Yeah,
I'm a
well, as a
dragon lane.
misfortune one trick in
Yeah.
League, yeah, I would
Yeah.
understand. I'm just here in the bot lane shooting at everything and
Hmm.
anything in the game. But yeah,
Hmm.
most played games of the year. So yeah, a
Hmm.
lot of the games that we played are multiplayer tied actually.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the
Right.
multiplayer grind is always there, and
Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
it's either the most nerve wracking thing or the best feeling ever because getting
Yes.
into a win streak, getting that satisfying win is always fun.
Hmm.
And yeah,
And the
that's
grind,
actually.
ranking up, is like toot, 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 toot. That seeing
Oh
that
man,
experience. It's that reward system that they keep hooking you
the
in.
the reward, yeah, the gameplay loop, the rewards, the feeling of
Be
achievement
right
is
back,
there.
boys.
So.
Hold on.
Okay,
I'll just step to the.
Oh,
okay, sure.
let me step out for a minute, but yeah,
Okay, but yeah, I guess we can move to the new game you haven't tried. So there
haven't
are
tried. Yes.
a lot of 2022 games that we missed, and I
Mhm.
think yeah, I can start with this. One game I just want to try at least one before the year ends is Roller Drome.
Oh my god, that's fun. Absolutely. It looks so fun.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
just want that. It's like I guess the best description that I saw from like one of the video essays about it was like um it's like a cross between Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Mhm.
and Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
It,
They also added Rocket League to it as well. So it's like Rocket League Arena, Doom Eternal, and then Pro Skater Mechanics. It's like
oh
what?
yeah, so it's insane, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like it's one of those games that, I think I think, whenever I get my hands on it, it just unlocks something in me. Like
In your brain.
the way that I think the first Doom unlocked the first reboot of Doom
Yeah.
unlocked something in me. So, I enjoyed Doom Eternal, although, the Bethesda is a mess right now. I'm sad.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Trust me,
No.
2023, they'll be swinging really hard. Really hard.
Well, not for the music of Doom Eternal, but yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, Roller Drome I think has that has that it's a unique game.
It's a unique game. Yeah.
It's a
There's a lot
weird
of unique games. Yeah.
it's a weird extreme sports deathmatch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
It,
battle royales are, right?
no, it's what pretty much what made people love Rocket League because it's a twist on a sport, but at the same time, it's different.
Yeah.
So
And
like Rocket League was racing, but it's football.
yeah,
And
and
Roller Drome is battle royale, but we're on roller skates.
mhm. I think I like the concept because um the entry level to learn the game is pretty simple. It's you skate, do tricks, shoot, and then the
Mm-hmm.
skill ceiling is just high.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space for skill
Creativity.
expression. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can just express your creativity by just doing a couple of tricks before you hit the kill shot, which is
Kill
actually
shot.
neat and it's just fun.
Mm.
Now
And,
I
and
have to
and and
see.
I'd like to note actually, I actually have roller drum. The reason why it's absolutely fascinating as well because of the art style, like the art direction that they went with it, which is cell shaded, which is a bit cell shaded, but also comic booky ish. It's great to watch, great to see, and that lends a lot to how fun roller dome looks like in action
Yeah.
when you watch.
Also, since you mentioned cell shaded, I guess one comparison we can also give it to is Jet Set Radio.
That's it, radio. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's Jet Set Radio, but with
More
guns
realistic,
and
more realistic. Yeah.
but yeah, that's actually cool. But yeah, Neil, what's your new game that you have not tried this year?
I've always wanted to play it, just haven't had. Everyone keeps talking about it. Marvel Snap. There are what
Oh,
there are WhatsApp groups here in Hong Kong that have filled up and said, I have gaming groups here and what have you, and it's like and chat groups and Facebook saying, who keep telling, oh, this is what I did in Marvel Snap. This is what I did. They had to make new groups out of those groups because they're like, you keep talking about Marvel Snap. Take away these screenshots. It's filling up our feed because they say it's so fun. It's the best mobile card game right now. It's the hottest mobile card game right now,
yeah.
and it's made by uh, the same people who did Hearthstone and what have you, and what fantastic. So it's led by the guy who designed Hearthstone, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
it's it's something that I want to play because I'm into card games, and I'm into a lot of things. So, and I love the MCU, and I love Marvel comics ever since I was younger. So yeah, so it's a great way to get into card games, but it's because I've tried Marvel Champions. It's fine as a collectible card game. It's hard to get cards here, so if I could get into like a nice comic booky TCG, I want to try Marvel Snap. So that's the game the new game that I haven't tried this year.
Yeah. Well,
I
there's a lot of
I'm
ways to
back,
try.
and
Yeah.
I heard all of that from Neil. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, well, there's just so many games to play. So
Hmm.
I don't.
That's true.
You can download it in the phone, but
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
haven't had the time.
I haven't had the time either. So it's like I just need to download it. I didn't even press the download button. That's how much I had. That's how many games there are this year. You can't even be bothered to download the newer ones, and they're free.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
Yeah, that's
I went to get some more back, and we're on the
no worries.
topic of uh,
new
games
games
that
you
we
have
want to
not
Yeah.
played.
play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, new. Um, it's one, but I can't say I've never played it because I already played the original, and I guess I would have to look at the PS5. The Last of Us, of
Ah,
course.
Last of Us
I
Part
want,
One.
I wanted to take a look at that, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really. One game I wanted to play that came out already, but hmm. Uh oh, oh, Horizon.
Oh, Horizon Zero West. Forbidden
Yeah,
West. Yeah, Forbidden
Forbidden. West. Not
West.
get it. I did not get
Yeah,
it.
get it.
I wa-
Yeah.
I thought, oh man, there's so many other games I'm playing, and it was still kind of pricey. I'm actually right now, since we're at this point, I'm just waiting for a price to play it, and
Mm.
there's just too many titles. There's too many to occupied,
Mhm.
and of course, daily life we have things to do, so you gotta put time and schedule to play these games.
But
Yeah, it's
just as a shout to Horizon Forbidden West, it's a great game. I love Horizon Forbidden West. That said, it had the unfortunate misfortune of being released in another year where there are so many other great games that it had
Right,
to fight against. The first game came
right.
out, it was up against Breath of the Wild. How can you compare?
Breath
So like, up this year, it's gonna be eaten by Elden Ring and God of War and all these
Elden
other titles as well.
Ring.
It's like, haha. It released at like a week or ish before Elden Ring. So it's like, what are people gonna prioritize purchasing? So
you know, if they didn't delay it, and it released like last year in
last
2021,
year
it would have
it would
been
have been
just
Game of the Year.
yeah, it would
It would
have
have been
been
Game
no
of the Year.
contest. Like
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard to compete against a game of
yeah.
Forbidden West's caliber, but unfortunately for them, 2022 had like two games that can just
What? No, 4 games.
oh
Xenoblade
yeah,
is crush
oh
it.
yeah,
Xenoblade 3 is
there's
gonna
like
crush
yeah
it.
there's like yeah, a whole list of games, a four four ahead of it, which is
Mhm,
insane
mhm,
for any gaming year. But
mhm.
yeah, yeah, so I guess that's our uh
The game that we
new
haven't tried.
games we haven't tried. Yeah, next up we have favorite new multiplayer. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Hmm.
favorite, this is a multiplayer game released this year.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you haven't played this that much, but you really
Mhm.
enjoyed it. So um I did say I play Marvel Snap, and
Yeah.
I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, but
Yeah.
I'd like to give my spot here to Gundam Evolution
Ah.
because the initial reaction to Gundam Evolution is not good for Gundam fans, because
Yes.
Gundam fans wanted something more of like a Gundam versus,
Yeah.
a Gundam fighting game, or yeah, an arcade style fighting game, or hack and slash, or Dynasty Warriors Gundam. So an
We
FPS
needed
with
this. We needed
yeah,
this, but better.
Emu-
yeah,
This,
that
but
one.
better.
There you
that's what fans wanted, and they didn't get it. But yeah, but when Gundam Evolution released, it was actually an FPS made with a lot of care in a way,
Yeah,
and the mechanics wise, it plays like Overwatch. You know,
it is
it's
the Overwatch we needed, but
yeah,
Overwatch with Gundam and a lot of personalities. Everybody has their fan favorite from the UC
yeah,
Century, from the
yeah,
multiverses.
but
So
yeah, yeah, it's really cool. And when I tried it, it actually plays well.
hmm
Visually, it's okay. Like you're
it's
not really
Overwatch.
in it.
It's
Yeah,
good.
you're not in it for the visuals. You're playing multiplayer games. Most people who play um online shooters, especially
Yeah,
for professionals, they don't even care about upping their graphic settings because they want as many frames as possible to
yeah.
see anything moving. But yeah,
mhm.
um,
And
I
Gundam never
like
looked great to begin with.
yeah,
Not all Gundam games are lookers. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I just like the mechanics of the game are pretty simple, pretty easy to learn, tough to master,
Yep.
and each mobile suit has like a encourages a different play style, and I think the amount of content there is actually cool, and they actually committed to an esports scene so early
hmm
on. So even though in terms of player base there are a lot of bigger shooters out there, of
hmm
course. Apex Legends is now like the best battle royale esport. Valorant and Counter Strike are still there, like
hmm
FPS in terms of like drawing out huge crowds, and Call of Duty and Halo is just always big American American hits. So, but yeah, I like how games like Gundam Evolution just had like had its own carved its own niche, and it's actually a more well received Overwatch 2 in a way
Yeah.
this year. It's
It
funny.
beat it beat Overwatch 2 this year. And just as a note, it's out on consoles since last week, people. So
Yeah,
get it
they
on
it,
console.
it's now out pretty much on
Everything
every viable gaming platform now.
except Nintendo.
If they put it on mobile or Switch, it's gonna be
Yeah.
insane. But
hmm
right now, it's pretty cool. Next up we have Tim. What's your favorite multiplayer game that you've tried out?
uh, the beat 'em up scout,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
absolutely.
of
Teenage.
course. There you go. I'm gonna give it to Shredder's Revenge.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Actually,
fun.
I
Uh,
guess
you
it's
if we
cool.
grew up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, arcade, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, that's the game to get your nostalgia feels
hmm
all around. And the music, my God, and the anime way
Yeah.
they put Dotemu just put their love in it. Of course, if you loved Streets of Rage 4 like I did, I played the heck out of this one. There you go.
hmm
It's I guess yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a
speaking
game.
of games that fans have been wanting, I guess Shredder's Revenge is one of those that
yeah.
you
Yes.
want that.
Mm.
The time it came out, everybody was talking. Oh, when let's all connect. We're not in the same system that you can't play, but
Mhm.
still, and then playing with friends, whether you're co-op or offline. I mean, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans' wet dream for its in the
Mhm.
90s. It's that game right there. Every
Yeah,
fan
it's
favorite
like
animated series to the games, that universe, it's there. That's my favorite multiplayer game for the year.
I guess yeah, that's all. That's really cool, and yeah, I'm happy that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually got a really solid game this year because it's been up and down for every now and then. There's like
Yeah.
a decent beat 'em up, and then there's like a not so good beat 'em up that was released a few games back. But yeah, it's nice to see something like Shredder's Revenge. I think I was able to see some people play it. Yeah, it's just
Have you?
I forgot if I did. I can't remember if I was watching and I also took in. Uh,
It's on
I
Game Pass. Go
I
play it.
blame
There you
I,
go. On
yeah
Game
I
Pass.
blame the drinks for not remembering properly. But yeah,
Mm.
it's cool and yeah, it's one of those games. If ever I didn't try it, it's one of those new games I haven't tried as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of those. That's part of the list. You know, the list of games I haven't played is longer than the games I've played this year. So
That's true.
that's concerning, but it's fine. You know,
Backlogs keep getting bigger is what it is.
yeah,
Oh,
it's always
hey,
harsh.
hey, you're talking to somebody last year who only got to appreciate Red Dead Redemption 2 during the holidays last year. I only
Mhm.
played through that game and just taken the sights and enjoy it because we were stuck at home. That game came out. I
Yeah.
was playing hell a lot of other games, and I just finally okay. I'm sitting down. I'm working from home, and then I get to play. So there, backlogs aren't bad. It just means you
Yeah, it's
want
fine.
them to.
Like
You
It's fine.
um,
yeah.
to be fair, I guess I understand as well because it took me years to appreciate Witcher 3. When I got to
Ah.
play it, when I finally got to play it, I committed like 2 months for it, and it was so
Mhm.
good. It may be the only game, one of the two games I was playing at that time, but I didn't care because it was just magic. Whenever I got to try it, like it's one of those games you have to deep dive. Now I guess it should be my turn to appreciate Red Dead Redemption next
That's
because
true.
I have not played that, and I know it's one of those games that are really really big, and I'm gonna sc- I
And meme worthy. Meme worthy.
oh yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
and it's one of those games that I feel like I would spend triple digits on,
Triple
and
digits on. Yeah.
I wouldn't even care, and that's fine. So
I have a plan.
Exactly. Right, Dutch.
yeah, that's actually really cool. And but yeah, next up we have Neil. What's your favorite new multiplayer game?
I think there's not much representation of it this year. We only but I have to speak out for it because it's an absolute pet peeve of mine. DNF Duel. DNF Duel while
Huh?
while while it, while it has a lot of controversial support in terms of there's not much in the way of support in terms of buffs and what have you. The game is broken,
Mm-hmm.
but broken in a way that here's the conceit with DNF Duel. It's an anime fighter game made by Arc System Works and Nexon and what have you. It's based on the Dungeons and Fighting game, which is fantastic. Dungeons and Fighters. I think that's the name of the franchise from Korea. That said, it's what made me buy one of these hoary sticks, because it's one game
Right.
that it's easy to play. The mechanics are so easy. You could press buttons and what have you, and you could do really cool things for the characters. And I recommend that any fighting gamer could pick it up quite well. That said, it may be easy, but because it's so easy, people go bananas real quick. So the skill level is easy. It's pretty easy to get into, but to master, it's one of those games that are easy to learn, insanely hard to master, because the ones who have been playing it for the longest time know how to play the game really well. Because if it's easier for us, imagine how it is easier for us who have been playing fighting games for ages to even break it even more. So there's a meta on who's good and what have you, but I just love DNF Duel because it's fun, and another thing that made me really love it because Maximilian Dude finally has a character in an anime video game. And
That's
he's my main.
actually cool.
So he
That's why I'm pretty surprised. You bought the game. That's good. Like,
He bought the
uh,
game. He bought the game, and the community rallied around one skin. It's like, hey, this looks like this looks
it
like
looks like
Maximilian
exactly.
Dudes. It looks like him. And then there was a mod on PC that pretty much made it look like made the character look like Max. That made Troubleshooter look like Max, and Max even recorded voice lines for it, so you can hear Maximilian Dude go like shit, batter up! I'm gonna hit you. So Max is voicing his own character, which made it very meme worthy and very fun. And we're finally happy that we're getting a new character halfway next year, and we're getting a buff by the end of December. So dev support for it is very slow, but they're hearing us out. And it's one of those games that actually got rollback netkill and what have you from the get go. So I really very much appreciated it. And so yeah, it's fun to play. Would I recommend playing it now? Um, I would say give it a try, but don't expect to to dominate a lot of people because there's not a lot, the player base for newbies won't be a lot. If you want to play a game that you can play a lot of people with around your same skill level, play Tekken, play Street Fighter, because those ranked lobbies will always be filled with green players and what have you. But if you go into DNF Duel now, you're gonna have a hard time. But it's that's the beauty of fighting games. You hit your head in the wall and you figure out what do I do? How do I figure out fighting against this character who's just spamming me against a wall? And it's fun. It's absolutely it's fun. It's fast. It's fun to watch, and that's what
Yeah.
I absolutely love about it. And even though King of Fighters is great, all these other fighters are
Exactly.
great. It's and Melty Blood is fantastic, but DNF Duel, that's my
You just beat me.
favorite
Yeah, you
multiplayer
just beat
game.
me to it. I was gonna say later, but I had to choose Shredder's Revenge because I enjoyed the heck out of that.
Mm.
I was gonna say
Mm.
KOF 15. KOF 15 is slowly
Mm.
releasing new characters with Kim,
Mm.
and I like the game, but
Mm.
I didn't
Mhm.
have as much Shredder's Revenge, so I had to pick one. Just
Yeah. Oh, if you're gonna
Shredder's Revenge,
if you're
right?
gonna pick up a fighter this year, I would recommend Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah,
If you're gonna pick up a
there's
fighter,
right.
yeah, basically any Arc System Works game, pick it up. You'll have tons of fun, and you'll learn mechanics of fighting games. But this is my
They're
baby.
they just hit it out of basically the new Marvel because well, Dragon Ball
Yeah,
first, and then
yeah.
now this. We're just
They're the new
waiting on
Capcom.
Capcom.
Yeah,
When are you going to Capcom to not limited to one up arcade one up machine?
yeah,
Give it
yeah.
back to us in digital format even. We're just
It's a rights nightmare, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you. That was my DNF Duel favorite new multiplayer. Give it a
Yeah.
try.
very good.
Okay. Nice. So now this is gonna be interesting because favorite single player is up next. Favorite single player, and I think our favorite or our games of the year are mostly on the single player category.
Mhm.
Right.
So well, my favorite single player is gonna be different from my game of the year because of that,
Yes.
and I'm gonna
Same.
start here with the weirdest pick here because no one picked this game to pick up any award. As far as I'm concerned, and um, I would like to give it my award here. No, it's a favorite. My favorite single player, just because I had a lot of fun and had a lot of laughs for it,
Mhm.
is Strangers of Paradise,
Oh my god,
Final
yes.
Fantasy
Chaos!
Origin.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
It's
I love
it's
it.
arguably the meme game of the year.
Yes.
It's and
Mhm.
even though it's not really an award-winning game of the year
Mhm.
level game, it's one of
Yeah.
those games that stuck to me because it's just a lot of fun. It's Final Fantasy unhinged in some way.
But the
I don't
plot
know
is
what.
actually good. The plot is
Yeah,
actually good. If you actually get it's basically as cheesy as Crisis Core, but you get through it. It really ties with the first Final Fantasy in such a
yeah,
good way.
yeah,
It's
and
so good.
I like the combat. It's difficult actually. It's a
Yeah.
difficult game, all things considered, and um but I like it because the customization options are there. The way that you switch to different classes and jumping into multiplayer, inviting random players to help you out is actually cool because if you're like stuck in a certain part of the level, you just hop in online, ask for help,
Hmm.
and there's like two random people that will just wipe the floor with you, and that's
Mhm.
the beauty of it. And um, yeah, I mean it's not Platinum Games. It's the from the guys who made Neo.
Neo.
From the guys who made
Yo,
Neo. So it's crazy.
And it
It
respects Final Fantasy heritage to boot. Like the class system is really deep
yeah,
and
I
fun.
like the cast system is really good because it's like 3 tiers for the most basic ones.
Yeah.
3 to 4 tiers, and there's like in betweeners that are actually really good.
And you can switch around, which is really
Yeah,
good. Like, what the heck?
and I remember being a mage slash paladin at some point. But
Paladin.
yeah, I'm mixing up the mages because I was showing to everyone that hey, you can dominate everyone here with just the use of magic,
Hmm.
with just magic, and it's crazy. But yeah, the game is actually the replay value is actually good because you just want to replay certain parts of the game and do better. Like there's ways to break the game with the job class system and how flexible it is. But yeah, yeah, Strangers of Paradise has a special place in my heart, and I'm happy to have at least got to try it and finish it. So yeah, that's my pick. Now we go to Neil. What's your pick for favorite single player?
Oh man, it's very tricky because there are so many single player games that I'd like to give two shout outs before I actually go to the one that I choose. One, I'll do it really quick. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, fantastic. Play it. It's a fun tribute to the Lego games, but also it's a fun way to play Star Wars. Play it. It's amazing. But that's not my
mm,
favorite single player of the year. Pokemon Legends Arceus is it's the superior Pokemon game this year. Go get that one. It's fun. I love the story. The mechanics are amazing. Go get that one. But my actual single player game of the year that I really really enjoyed, it's not even in game of the year categories. It's Sifu.
Oh, that's actually really good.
see,
Sifu is if you like kung fu, if you like if you like roguelites, and if you also like Dark Souls and what have you, but also at the same time you like
yeah,
watching old school action films, uh like uh like The Raid, and you like watching Donnie Yen when he does
Donnie Yen,
we call I
yeah,
Donnie, if you like Donnie Yen, if you like Ip Man and what have you, if you like martial arts in general, Sifu is fun. It's fantastic. The story is very typical. Like it's a revenge story, but at the same time, it's uh it's great. It just plays really well. It makes you feel like you're straight out of Karate Kid, Ip Man, and what have you. And it's really fun. And the learning grind and the learning curve and the mechanics of the older you get, the stronger you get is such a fun conceit to the whole I die, I go back again, reset the whole stage thing, just like any roguelike, just like any
right.
Dark Souls game. So for me, Sifu beats Elden Ring. So that's
Good.
and yes,
That's a
and
good.
I know and then I know people will be like, but Elden Ring has this and that. But here's the thing, Elden Ring is a pastiche of a lot of Souls games that I've already enjoyed the past few years. But in
Yeah,
terms of narrative, but in terms of a narrative, in terms of story that will motivate me to get that guy who killed my master and all these people
it's
that
Sifu.
happened in my past. Sifu gave me more of that, and while I love the whole lore with Will Malina's army beat all these overlord there, and like all that whole lore thing that you have to look for and probably diverse for some dialogue and what have you. I get that, but if I want something that's quick and easy, that's not going to take me 100 hours and what have you, because there's so many games, and you just want to
There's a
spend
game.
time playing one thing and another thing and another thing. That would be Sifu for me. So if I there's something that I recommend, get Sifu. It's fun and cheaper than
Oh
than
yeah,
than the $70 games.
Yeah, actually, it's that budget choice. But yeah, Tim, what's your pick for favorite single player for this year?
actually, I think agree with Neil for the PS5. I got even the exclusive towel that comes with what they call this Vengeance Edition. It's also
Mm.
out for the Switch right now. They have it on the go.
It's on all
Sure.
platforms. So mm.
Yeah, but of course, if you don't care about what the Switch can handle, that's fine.
Mm.
Other than that, single. Well, of course, I'd still say what I'm currently playing, God of War, but I give it. I mean, I give other games a chance to shine. I guess. Um, I'll throw this out of the box. I actually gave it for free in PS Plus. Straight.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's cute. It's cute. It was free, but as a cat, and you go traverse through a story adventure with a little robot sidekick. But other than that, it's cute. It's cute. I'd give it a nod to it. I haven't really action-packed game aside from, well, obviously the obvious choice is God of War, but I'd say straight.
Mm. Speaking of free games you can get on a platform,
Mm.
sorry, I'm gonna pitch in Game Pass here, but Immortality is amazing. And it's on Game Pass for free. So there's been so many raves about it. It it might win best performance over God of War, which has a lot of amazing performances. But yeah, so there's a reason why
So
people are talking
Immortality
about it.
or Game Pass.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot
I
of
need to play a lot of. Yeah, I need to play. There's so many games we have to try out. So
Hmm.
once again,
oh
I would. Yeah,
well, we're talking about new games for 2022, but what's also nice, I guess, past it. It's also now in the PS Plus extra and essential games. So if you've never played them, there's no excuse now not to play them.
actually,
They're all
actually
zero,
fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only thing that's not free is 6.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's free on
actually
Game
fun.
Pass. Oh, that's free on Game Pass. And 7 too.
On Game Pass.
But yeah, there's so many games to try out, and
Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of favorite single player. But now, before we go to our little game of the year, let's go to our
Mhm.
most anticipated, and
Oh boy.
um, I guess our pick here, Tim, is probably the same. There's only one
It's the
choice
same,
for.
man.
Yeah, and I guess I'll make mine short because all I want is very simple. And so most anticipated game, Resident Evil 4 remake. And
Mhm.
I Capcom has been nailing it with the past Resident Evil games, from 7 to RE2 remake, RE3. Even though people did like the RE3 remake, it's still a solid game. It has the
I
same
love RE3.
engine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
it's
RE3
it
remake.
has the same engine. It still works, and Village is, really great. One of the
It's
best games last
good.
year as well.
Yes, that's I
It's
chose
our
it my
Yeah.
categories, and well, October I finished Shadows of Rose. So
Hmm.
it's your typical over the shoulder perspective Resident Evil extra story, but since they released the Winter's expansion, you can play Village the Shoulder just like RE2 and RE3 remake. So
That's the best
if
part.
you hate the
And
yeah, if you heard the first person view, play that again in third person.
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, now coming to Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah,
Mm.
it's been a long time coming. And
Looks so
even
good.
even though I think one of the Resident Evils that didn't really need a remake treatment, or was actually really good as is, or
Hmm.
has stood the test of time, was RE4. The original
Yes.
RE4 actually stood the test of
Most
time way back.
the most re-releases in any system. So with every region,
oh,
yeah, since the
oh
GameCube and the
man.
PS2, it's been coming out an HD remaster, Wii version. Okay, one for the iPhone, and then Quest 2 for VR. So whatever they can do, whatever Capcom can, they'll do it. So
It's
Yeah.
it's
uh,
Capcom Skyrim.
Yeah, it's their
exactly.
Skyrim, honestly. It can be Skyrim before Skyrim, actually,
Mhm.
it's way
Yeah.
earlier. But yeah, they've ported
I,
it to every system known to man.
since then, the PS2, when it was first released back in 2005. Now they're oh, and a remake. So I
Yeah,
mean, some RE fans like myself that they should have done it chronologically and released a Code Veronica remake before this. Well, I guess
oh
because
yeah.
it will sell numbers, so they'll go for RE4. I guess well, or I wouldn't be surprised if Code Veronica's already in the works. Was the reason why I bought a Dreamcast to get Code Veronica.
Oh man, yeah. Code Veronica is one of those games. But yeah,
But I think the plan is like current RE title and then remake. Current RE title remake. Like every year, they're gonna be alternating between
Remake.
that.
Yeah.
yeah. So for RE4 remake, all I want to see is I just want to see how they enhance the original game. I know there's gonna be a few changes here and there. I mean, they've already teased a couple of changes. You can you can parry an entire chainsaw with a
With a
pistol,
gun.
with which is badass. And um yeah, I think I just want to feel that same rush I had in that village sequence, or fighting against Krauser. Fighting against Krauser has to be one of the most tense, has to be the most tense boss battle there. Like out of all of the battles there, it's one of the best. Um, I think for me that battle doesn't even feel like a Resident Evil boss battle. It felt like a Metal Gear Solid one. Just for how the sequences are panned out. But yeah, that's all I want there. And I guess Tim, you can take it away on that one.
Well, we're both there as an RE fan. Long, long RE fan. I'll go for RE4 remake. Just like you, we're all excited. I will get the collector's edition, of course, because want another. I want another statue. Leon,
Mm-hmm.
Jill, and from RE2 remake, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get. Well, I was kind of hoping it would be Ada, but okay. And it's not
It's-
gonna be a test. It's a Natashi case.
Some third party will make it.
Yeah, hopefully. I guess just to add variety to our games, and we were just talking about it earlier. I'm looking forward to the Dead Space remake because long since we played and we we played Dead Space. I mean, of course, all right now
Mhm.
by the co-creator. So what Neil and nothing about off camera was a great story, and of course the gore, but the gameplay is janky, as he put it, right, Neil?
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
uh, for Dead Space, I guess I just franchise because that thing had a lot of potential back in the day with the PS3. Then, uh, sorry, Dead Space 3, and then nothing. Limbo until now. No, we're getting an actual remake, and from released, it looks good. You've seen the trailer, right?
Yep.
The
Mhm.
released first 18
It looks
minutes of
it looks
the
perfect, is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's ideal. Yeah, I think this is the best generation to make remakes now because
Mhm.
we have the
It
technology to
makes
actually transcend the original.
Yeah,
So come on.
we can actually visualize the horror and everything that the creators wanted to do at the time. You know.
you know actually the other anticipated game just said it'll come out 2024. Silent Hill 2, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Mm.
excited for that. But for the most games that are coming out early next month and then on March, that's Dead Space remake. So
Mhm.
for now, we'll settle with those. Then we'll look forward to the announces. But I'm just happy that they got their act together and they're not just gonna
Yeah.
focus.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So
But
there
yeah,
you go.
that's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
more remakes. But yeah,
What?
Neil, what's your pick for
Please,
Yeah.
what's my
games
pick?
that?
Since we already talked about how Capcom is doing right by Resident Evil and Street Fighter 6, I'm doing something a little different because there's another company that's hopefully it will do right by its fans, and I am very very looking forward to it because it will signal an age which I very hope will come back. Starfield is coming out next year.
Oh
Yes.
After
yes.
being played. And
Yes.
Starfield is the promise of Xbox hitting hard with all of its exclusives because because next year 2023 is going to be a big year for Xbox. Because they're doing Starfield, Redfield, Forza 8, and all these other releases that they're definitely gonna tease tomorrow at the Game Awards. So Fable, Perfect Dark, all Indiana Jones remake and Golden Eye remake, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many things in the pipelines but the first thing that's gonna come out of the gate swinging is Starfield, and that's something that I really look forward to. We haven't had a Bethesda IP that's new for ages. We haven't had a Mass Effect, even though it's not Xbox. Like Obsidian tried to do their own thing with the Outer Worlds. Outer World was
Outer
fun, but
Worlds.
it wasn't properly open world. It didn't feel Skyrim or Fallout esque, and this is the closest thing we can have to it. Like what we all wanted Mass Effect to be, where we'd go to different planets and interact as, "Hi, I'm Shepard," and blah 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 blah, not what have you. All of that fantasy of going around the universe, a la Firefly, a la Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of exploration thing, customizing your own ship, a la Battlestar Galactica, those things, like you get that in Starfield, and that is the hope that I have as a long Xbox player, but at the same time, as a long Bethesda player, and this is us counting on, can Todd Howard take us home? Can he take us home and bring us to the stars like he promised and what have you?
Mhm.
So is this gonna be amazing, or is this gonna be No Man's Sky 3.0 hula baloo all over again? We don't know,
Being
So, but it's
very
something that I look forward to.
Yeah, it's really
good.
exciting. It's cool, and
It's
yeah, I hope.
exciting.
I just hope they. I just hope they get it right and
And
really do it.
from what little we've seen of it, it all looks very very promising. So I
Mhm.
hope that it's not that it hits the landing, so to speak, with the ships. You know.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Okay. Yeah. For the ships anyway.
Yeah.
Now we go to our game of the year. So game of the
Mhm.
year, one game that's like your favorite of the year, just
Mhm.
best. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'll do the start on mine, and this might not win game of the year because of all the other good games, but I did enjoy Horizon Forbidden West so much. Like
Yes. Mhm.
There you go.
like the way that Forbidden West expanded from Zero Dawn in terms of
Mhm.
like the amount of options you can travel in, the the depth of side quests, the amount of
Mhm.
side quests, and just locations, beautiful locations that you can explore is just really great. And the machines are just
It's
better than
fantastic.
ever. Yeah, they're just so cool. One of the best things about Forbidden or Horizon Zero Dawn was like how you take down machines
Mhm.
depending on your playstyle, and Forbidden West just levels it up in a way
Mhm.
that it feels like you even have way more options than before. Even though I think the new options that you have isn't actually that much in
Yeah.
Forbidden West, but the tools that the possibilities that you can do in combat
Yeah.
there is really cool. And yeah, the story is really fun.
Yeah.
Like
No, the story's amazing, and the characters are
yeah,
the heart of each character was amazing. Like
yeah,
every
the
single one you
I
like.
think I like the way how the game world itself goes so far, so
Mhm.
expansive. Um, you start off in like a valley, in a very forest-like valley. And then you go into a desert, and then you go into an island, and the coastal area, pretty much California, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, what is this? Yeah, the variety is great, and
Mm.
there are times I just it's one of those games where sometimes you just stop and go to photo mode, take a
Mhm.
nice
Yeah.
screenshot,
Yes.
And
yeah, hop on to
you
another
just
location, do the same thing
Mm.
again.
you
And
just take
and it's also a massive Yeah. It's also a massive testament to the tribes. Like really, you felt these are tribes. This is the whole world, and these are people who survived after everything, and
But
it's
yeah, it's a
wonderful.
lot of
I
fun.
wanted to explore more. I want to have spin-offs with each tribe. You know, I want to know more about them. I want to know more about them. I want to know
But
more
yeah,
about
I
lore
do love for
building.
the
it's that.
yeah.
That's why I mentioned one game. That was my pick. That came out this year, but I didn't play.
Mhm.
That was it.
Yeah, it's one of those yeah, it's a really great game. It's yeah, it's so enjoyable. Yeah, it's just one of those open world games that just feel great, and the world is just so one of those open world games where the world just feels so alive, and that's
It's
the
alive.
best part. That's
Mm.
always
I
great.
love Vegas. Vegas is amazing.
Oh yeah, New
No,
Vegas
no,
is chefs.
no, yeah, Vegas in
Oh,
Horizon.
Vegas. Yeah, well,
Right?
Vegas and yeah, it's cool, and yeah. Well, Tim, you're in for a ride once you finish Ragnarok, if you
Yeah,
ever get to try it. But yeah,
When
yeah.
I get down to it, yeah, I'll take my time and just take in the
It's a
scenery.
great palate cleanser.
yeah, it just
Ex-
it's one of those games where it feels yeah, it feels somewhat relaxing to play. But yeah, now we go to Tim. What's your game of the year?
Mhm.
We just talked about it. It's right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I guess no
That is
contest.
it
It's gonna be hard to beat.
yeah.
for a game. Well, of course, this game was 4 years in the making since they re-envisioned Kratos in Norse mythology, and he's
Mhm.
raising a son. All of these different gods and their interpretations of the Norse gods. Funny, but a lot of people seem to agree that they like their give Thor Love and Thunder. They're gonna, of course, they're gonna be biased comparisons between Thor here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that
This is
this is
actually lore
one
accurate,
way
by
of
the
saying
way.
exactly.
This is lore. Yeah.
Because Thor is supposed to look like that. The only
yeah,
thing that's subject to interpretation is how how very Americanized gods are when you meet them.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's all I'm going. It's a very modern family take on the Norse pantheon of gods. So just play it because it just came out last month. So this is my game of the year. Combat, of
Mhm.
course. That's one thing that pisses me off. Fighting every other impossible boss fight. You really have to have
Mhm.
fast moving reflexes, and times I wanted to throw this controller down. Just boss back your patience. But
Yeah.
that's the game. If you're Kratos, you're supposed to under your valor. Well, uh, I'd say games. Uh, I mean, they were giving variety and characters. That's all I'm gonna
Mhm.
say.
Mhm.
Neil knows what I'm talking about, right, Neil?
Mhm.
There you
Yep.
go. So Ragnarok for me.
Mhm.
Ragnarok. Let's go now, Neil. What is your game of the year?
I'm gonna go with Tim because that is indeed my game of the year. As much as I would love to say Horizon Forbidden West, but everything that Horizon Forbidden West did, God of War Ragnarok did 5 times better in terms of writing the side characters, and they're not side characters; they're all fully fledged characters, and I love the performances of just about everyone. And as a history major and someone who got into history because of mythology and ancient civilization, that's my whole thing. It's really clever how even ever since the first game they've always done clever things as to how they interpreted certain things of the mythology, how they interpreted the Prose Edda, which I really really much appreciated. So to see how they've continued to interpret the whole mythology side from here, and while sure Tim said something about it being modern takes and what have you, they absolutely fit the what do you call that? They absolutely fit the build, not really build,
Yes.
but more like caricature that these gods posed back then, what have you. Every actor was perfectly casted. The combat is more fun than ever, and the new weapons that you get, well, the new stuff that you get, and the new mechanics are fun, and it's really really quite something. That sure it doesn't bring anything radically new in the same way that Horizon Forbidden West doesn't bring anything radically new. In the same way that Elden Ring doesn't bring anything radically new to the table. It just improves on what's come before. It's just in the same way that Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't exactly improve dramatically from what Red Dead Redemption 1 did. It just gives us more of the same amazing thing along the way. But it's just so remarkable and so amazing to play that it is undoubtedly the game of the year for me. There's not much that's already been said that I can add to it. But yeah, if there's anything, if you all like American Gods, that sort of thing by Neil Gaiman, if you like that take on Norse mythology, you'll see more of that here and more, and
and more. Yeah,
and
you're
it's
absolutely right.
it's and the implications of the game and where it takes the story, it will break your heart at some points. It will shock you. It
Mhm.
will impress you, and some little and Mimir, and I think and you will always appreciate Mimir's stories, and I certainly have, and I wanted more of
I
those.
love him.
Mimir's
Yeah.
stories alone elevate it. You don't get, and the way that it's even, you feel that these characters have grown. They've developed and bonded. Like you don't hear Kratos say head anymore. He say Mimir.
No, he calls
Like
brother.
everyone's grown, and it's fantastic. And the arc that Kratos has, the titular character has, in the whole series, it's amazing. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, that's a good. And that's what I was considering when I was playing the game. The fact that as you play portable with the characters that
Mhm.
he's interacting with at the time, I won't say other people will play it so they get surprised.
Yeah.
But the fact that he opens up and he brings back from the past games, including the PSP games,
Hmm.
man, that's
So
something Santa Monica Studio has done there. So I'm
yeah.
glad that they're the creators,
Mhm.
instead of calling it a soft reboot. It's not. It's a continuation
Yeah.
of God of War alone in
Yeah.
2018. That doesn't mean that they're omitting, uh, taking away the first one, because if
Hmm.
you played the first one, it continues all the way here. So
Hmm.
you're rewarded as a long time fan.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm. And I guess that's our games of the year, and
The games of the year. Sorry,
Yep.
Elden Ring.
it's a stacked year. Okay, it's a stacked
Sorry,
year.
sorry, Xenoblade. We love you, but sorry.
Kratos has won.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we yeah, the Sony has got it.
the
Both
Sony
Sony
has got
games.
it this year. Both Sony games got it this year,
Yeah, it's
and
it's
hope.
a, it's really good for this edition, and yeah, well, now come to think of it, Sony games have been, well, I think last year it wasn't really, well,
It takes two. It
It
takes two.
Takes
One
Two
last
took
year.
it.
Right.
For our 2020 Game of the Year episode, I remember Ghost of Tsushima taking it.
Taking it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that was such a game. But yeah, yeah, that's our Game of the Year, and
Hmm.
I guess that covers pretty much every category, from the games that we enjoyed the most to games that we wish we can enjoy. And that's
So
really
yeah,
cool. And yeah, 2023 is just right around the corner, just a few weeks
and
away.
has more games that are absolutely
It's so
insane
good.
around the corner.
There's just so many games this year, and it's insane that we get a stack 2022, and 2023 feels like it's gonna be stacked as well.
It's
Maybe
going
not
to
as
be even
stacked as
better.
2022,
Oh no,
but
no. Here's the thing: Breath of the Wild 2 is coming this year,
oh yeah, well, okay,
and
Yes.
well,
Wild. Xbox is bringing out all of their stuff. What is so? Yeah, Resident Evil 4 is coming out. Dead Space
oh
is
yeah,
coming
okay,
out.
never mind. It's an even more stacked here from how it looks like. I see
Yeah.
just a lot of names. That's gonna be crazy. But yeah,
Mm.
that's it for our episode number 120. That's our game best games of 2022 episode, and well, that's another milestone actually. 120
On
episodes.
2022. Mhm.
But yeah, for this one, I guess our next up here, we're gonna talk about I don't know. Well, we're not gonna talk about anything, but yeah, it's just a really fun, really nice to see, reach the 120 mark. Even though we haven't posted that many episodes compared to last time because we don't do this thing weekly anymore because we have office time now.
I know.
We gotta
Yeah,
work to play games.
yeah, we have to work to play games. Yeah, I mean, wait, we have to work to have money to buy all the geeky stuff we enjoy, and find time
and
to
hope
enjoy it.
and hope we can play it.
Yeah,
We
and
can play with them.
I
Yeah.
hope the time is
So
enough.
basically, we're back to being peasants like in Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, we're
More
we're back to
work.
that.
More
We're
work.
back to that level. It's gonna be welcome to the grind again, I guess. Well, yeah,
All right.
2023 looks to be cool. It's another great gaming year. But before
What?
we end, I guess we can. Just a few shout outs. Okay, you can check out the geekyones.com. So for blog site, and you can also
Mm-hmm.
check out our socials at the Geeky Ones on Facebook, Twitter,
Give
Instagram,
him a
Twitter, and YouTube.
follow.
There you go.
And
Click the link.
you can yeah, you can listen to this the audio version of this podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. And this video will be up on YouTube as well. So the channel is gonna be cool. Um, but
And
yeah,
if you need
and
to, remember the things that we just mentioned in this video, go watch those things. Go listen to those things when you're
yeah,
shopping.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of previous
Plug,
episodes
plug,
there,
plug,
lots of
plug,
gaming
plug,
episodes.
plug.
Yeah, and last for my end, do this Jude. So I have a Facebook page, but I mostly post now on YouTube. So my YouTube page, I've focused on making Master Duel content,
Hmm.
and it's been doing well. So I'm focusing on one game, and let's see if it sticks. And it's been doing well so far. And so, yeah, you can check that out if you want to learn how to play some Master Duel, want to find some decks to play, and it's cool. And next up we have Neil. So
Oh,
we'll give you a plug spot as well, of course.
I'm not active on any of these things because of work, what have you. I've been meaning to get into it. We'll figure out when, but yeah, that'll be a thing. But we'll see. I'd appreciate a like, a follow, what have you. But yeah, if ever I do decide to get back into the swing of things, I'll let you know. So
Okay.
follow.
That's awesome. Okay, next up we have Tim. So Tim, where can we find you? I
Uh,
mean, the socials are here on screen.
I'm active. I'm active in Facebook, and I just talk about anything and movies, games, toys, whatever I see. Since things are opening up again, and we have events again, and people again. In fact, uh, shout out to Netflix. I went to the Net, so that was fun. It was nice to reconnect with people we've interacted with in the gaming community, especially. Uh, well, less streaming, but as it is, we're all busy again. Since things have opened up, we can't and just game the whole day. The
Mhm.
world is calling again. So in West, we have to venture out there to go and meet the world again. This
Yeah, that's
after all of this that we've encountered for the past couple of years. Doing these things once in a while to catch up and then share our thoughts about something like of the year, the game awards. Yeah, we should come back, especially with 2023 just around the corner. We'll have more to look forward to.
yeah. There's so much more events. There's so much more stuff to do next year, and that's gonna be really fun. And yeah, I guess that has been it for episode number 120. And thank you for those who are watching and those who are listening wherever you are. But yeah, this has been the Geeky Ones, and we'll see you in the next episode. So bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.